If we stop resisting all the time, then life becomes playful, joyous. Okay, I elaborate a bit more about the beauty of existence. In the Indian tradition, once you turn spiritual, often all the expressions about this world, they are very, very negative. It's Maya, it's samsara, it's something that you really want to get the hell out of it. Because it's so terrible, this world, and the goal in the tradition is being put that okay, we have to suffer, we have to struggle, we have to do things, and if we are not getting there this life, we are born again, and then we have to struggle further until we finally get liberation, meaning liberation from that compulsive circle of birth and death and rebirth and death. And this world is a terrible place. But actually, this in the tradition has just somehow been promoted to help sadhaks to detach a bit from their attachments. It's a totally one-sided picture. If you are not watching the news, reading the newspapers, and think what people are doing and how terrible and terrible is, but just look out of the window and see the trees, and the flowers, and the birds, and the sky and the clouds, then immediately we see such a wonderful, marvelous, beautiful picture. This world has the possibility that the experience to be a human can be hell. But we are doing that to ourselves. Of course, some people are born privileged, others are born less privileged, in very bad circumstances. But I have seen poor people with nothing, with little, and they were just quite happy with whatever little they got in their life. And everybody knows, very rich people can be very unhappy in spite of being able to arrange their circumstances whatever which way they like. The beauty or not beauty of existence is not in the circumstances. There is beauty everywhere. Here on my little rooftop, it's so beautiful when I look out. And yet, I wouldn't want to stay in this world forever and ever and ever, and then extend this human existence. But if we stop resisting all the time, then life becomes playful, joyous. And we resist because we have grown up, developed that idea, who am I, that personality, that's me, have learned from the conditioning, from the value system, for you, the moral system of the society. You have to live like this, you have to live like that, and you should achieve this, and you should become great, and you should and should. And so we have developed our own ideas, what we should and we should not, and get very attached to it. And with that attachment comes, we are opening up that bag of troubles. With that attachment, then of course we are always running against the wall, because whatever ideas we are fixing in our mind, it's never just going to happen like this. For a moment it may happen, we feel happy, and then it's already changing again and goes totally against our grain. And if we are attached to our ideas and to our things that I should achieve, where I should get in my life, then invariably I suffer. And then life can become a hell. We can suffer so much that it's a total hell living in this world. But if we learn to accept the circumstances the way they are, then all that energy, all that precious, beautiful energy that we are wasting by resisting is there to be used creatively. And we can put that creativity in the current of events, in that flow of time and space. And in that way, at least influence the circumstances, maybe turn them better, at least to some degree, but then at the same time always knowing that happiness I'm looking for is not coming from somewhere. It's not out there. It's not if I'm getting a high position. It's not if I'm getting famous and many people will say, oh, you are so great. It's not in the amount of wealth I can accumulate or possessions. It's not in a relationship. That happiness is just simply an aspect of existence. And if we are not resisting, we have access to that. No matter whether we are in extremely poor circumstances or whether we are in rich circumstances. Whether we have achieved what goals we have set in our mind or whether we have not achieved. Whether people praise us or whether people blame us. So we don't have to condemn this world like the tradition does a lot in order to give us the idea to go beyond. We just have to learn to detach, to straighten our hooks. Nisargadatta said once to one person, you are like a bundle of hooks, and you are walking through a world that is made out of rings. And so you are always getting hooked left and right and everywhere, because all these rings, they hang on to you. But that doesn't mean you have to go around now and try to destroy all these rings that are there. You never can do it because there are always new ones. All what you have to learn to do is to straighten out your hooks. Then you won't cling anymore. Then you can dance your life. Then you can playfully go through your life without getting stuck all the time. It's not that we have to condemn this world in the hope that in a future world, in a future life, in a future way of existence, finally we can be happy. That happiness is an aspect of existence. It's timeless, it's spaceless, it's here, it's now. It's never absent. It simply depends whether we learn to bring your attention back to that, learn to relax in that, learn to dive in that, learn to function from that perspective, and then this world is not a bad world, it's not a good world, it's just as it is. There's so much beauty in it. There is a lot of ugly stuff happening, no doubt. It's not that we have to artificially try to say everything that is happening is beautiful. No. If we watch the news, if we read the newspapers, if we see what's going on in the world, people do terrible things. It's no point in denying that. And it's hellish what people can make out of this human life. It's no point in denying that. That doesn't change the fact that simultaneously you look out, you look at the tree, and there is just sheer beauty. The beauty of existence expressing itself. This world is not good, this world is not bad, this world is just a place where we came to in order to get richer for the experience. And if we identify with the role that we are playing, and with that identification have our whole agenda on which we insist, not exist, on which we insist that it has to manifest, then of course all the time when it is not going according to our ideas, then we feel so miserable and we will suffer. But if we playfully pick up a direction, go about it, maybe I get it, maybe I don't get it, maybe I reach it, maybe I don't reach. If you have that broad-heartedness and can go about it playfully, then also living in this world doesn't make us suffer. Sometimes it's pleasant, sometimes it's unpleasant. That can be changed. As long as there is a body living in this world, it's just a continuous change from a pleasant moment, an unpleasant moment, a pleasant moment, an unpleasant moment, pleasant circumstances, unpleasant circumstances. But we don't have to suffer. We don't have to feel poor little me, self-pitying, when things are not going our way. And if we don't do that, then we can be aware of the joyousness of existence, even if things are going against our will, against our grain, even if we have to see terrible things, then there is still that awareness, but there is that joyousness of existence bubbling. And with that perspective, we are also in a much better position to influence the circumstances creatively, beautifully, in a positive way.